It's Rock versus Emerald. And we are underway in round 15. Rochford Wines match of the round action. And unfortunately for Rock, Leah Mibus centre pass well and truly goes awry. And starts out to play. Interesting to see here. So Brodie Smith has started in goal defence and Casey Rhodes Anderson will start as goalkeeper. So a bit of a change there. And the wind causing havoc early days. Emerald have directly turned it over. Nella James will have ball in hand. And she goes out wide to Jade Maguire, who goes back to James. Laterally to Mitzi Henry. Looks up ahead and then once again to Ella James, about a third time in this passage, and she's turned it over. Maddie Taylor over the top to Jackie Cutting. And Emerald will get the first look in the Rochford Wines match of the round. And Jackie Cutting makes no mistake. First goal of the afternoon going to the Bombers. 1 goal to zip, and Krista Tomlinson has the centre pass. So Emerald can take a handy lead here early days if they can convert off this. Fox, Taylor, Cutting, already got 1 goal in the afternoon. Feeds to Fox. Henry called for contact. We'll come back to Mackenzie Fox, who gets her first look at goal for today's game. She's the leading goal scorer, of course, for Emerald, and she makes no mistake, converts. So 2 goals to zip early days for the Bombers. Mibus goes out wide. Comes inboard to Pastrenia, back to Mibus, over the top, and Smith knocks it away out of the hands of Gemma Stacey, but ball trickles out of play, and will be a throw-in for Jess Pastrenia of Rock. Mibus, good feed, and finds Stacey, who will line up the goals. And Gemma Stacey makes no mistake. Gets Rock's first goal for the afternoon. 2 goals to 1 early days in the Rochford Wines match of the round. Tomlinson straight away to Fox. Looks to go back to Tomlinson. That's exactly what she does. Got a bit of contact as well. Taylor, Cutting, good one. Got some separation on Ella James. And Jackie Cutting makes no mistake. Back to a 2-goal difference. 3 goals to 1. Mibus. Waste no time. Pastrenia. Good one to Stacey. Has Davey, and it's a good feed from Jess Pastrenia. Courtney Davey has her first look at goal, doesn't convert. Kept in play, though, by Stacey. So Gemma Stacey with another opportunity, and again converts. So they've settled in now, Rock, just 1 goal behind at the moment. Emerald still there with an early break. Nearly cut off by Maguire, but Maddie Taylor holds strong. Long drive is a good one too to Cutting. Out wide, once again into the hands of Taylor. Taylor over the top. Good one. Good feed to Mackenzie Fox. And she makes no mistake. Gets it back out to a 2-goal difference for Emerald. 4 goals to 2 early days in the Rochford Wines match of the round. Mibus. Comes back to Mitzi Henry. Into the hands of Mibus. Mibus wastes no time. Straight into the hands of Stacey. Finds Davey out wide. Davey. Just a bit short. And Brodie Smith. Good collection off the post. Goes out wide. That's a good one too to Simonson. Simonson goes laterally. Tomlinson. Smith. Goes back to Rhodes Anderson. Smith again. Taylor. Retreats to Rhodes Anderson, then goes back to Taylor. Taylor looks for Tomlinson. Is it kept in play? No. So Rock with an opportunity to counter-attack. Henry works out in the end for Pastrenia. Mibus nearly fumbled it, but gathered just at the last moment. Here is Davey. Good feed to Stacey, and Gemma Stacey a little bit offline. Gets a second opportunity. And this time she does convert. Has to be said, beautiful sunny day here at Rob Porter Recreation Reserve. A little bit of wind around for the moment, but both teams seem to be handling the conditions pretty well, considering Tomlinson Cutting, found a bit of room to work with. She'll go back to Tomlinson, though. Might have a look at goal now, yes. And Jackie Cutting can make this a 2-goal difference. And eventually she does that with the 3rd attempt, so 2 goals the difference. 5 goals to 3 early days in the Rochford Wines match of the round. Emerald off to a good start. Pastrenia straight on to Davey, back to Pastrenia. Davey, it was a good feed from Stacey. Courtney Davey makes no mistake, converts the goal, back to 1 goal the difference. 4 goals to 5. Good one over the top to Fox. Fox to Taylor. On to Cutting. And back to Mackenzie Fox, who makes no mistake. Once again back out to a 2-goal difference. 6 goals to 4. Still the way of Emerald. So out it comes to Pastrenia. Could go back to Henry, but further ahead to Mibus. So this is Jade Maguire once again. Pastrenia laterally to Mibus. Pastrenia again, short, good one to Davey. Davey lines up the goals, and unfortunately for her, it pops out, and Brodie Smith straight onto that one. Good long drive up the court to Tomlinson. She'll go short to Taylor. Looked at Fox, but then goes back to Tomlinson. Lets it bounce in front of her cleverly. Tomlinson, Taylor. Tomlinson again. Feeds to Cutting, and a good one-handed collection. And this to make it a 3-goal difference for Emerald. And she makes no mistake, 7 goals to 4. Tomlinson with the centre pass, and the Bombers with a handy little break now. Fox out wide. On to Taylor. Taylor back to Mackenzie Fox. Very good work right there from the Emerald captain. She converts another goal, makes it a 4-goal difference, 8 goals to 4. So Rock suddenly with a bit of work to do. Mybus with the centre pass to start it off. Out to Davey, comes back to Maguire. Has Mybus, but goes further to Pastrana. And Courtney Davey does well. Found a good spot. Doesn't convert the first opportunity. Contact given away by Rhodes Anderson. So Courtney Davey with a second attempt makes no mistake. 5 goals to 8, so they get one back to the Kangaroos. Emerald still with a handy lead though, early days. Taylor, long one and a good one too to Cutting. Will just go short to Tomlinson. Fox has got front position on Henry and eventually comes into her hands. Mackenzie Fox lines them up and converts. 9 goals to 5, back out to a 4-goal difference for Emerald. Mybus in fact. Pastrana and then Davey back to Henry, right on a measure, but made sure she didn't fall into that attacking third. Maguire, Mybus, looks up ahead, offloads and eventually falls into the hands of Pastrana. Here is Stacey. And they've turned it over. Rhodes Anderson waste no time, but they've turned it straight over. Have Emerald, so back into the hands of Gemma Stacey. Good work there by Leah Mybus. Maguire, Mybus. Looks around, just retreats back to Henry. Henry will go short to Pastrana. Pastrana out wide. Good one it was too. To Davey. Pastrana over the top. Anyone's ball to be won here. We'll stay with Rock, so another opportunity for the Kangaroos. Gemma Stacey to get it back to 3 goals of difference. Makes no mistake. 9 goals to 6. Still the way of Emerald. Tomlinson. Beautifully done by Maguire. Good interception. Oh. So contact against Smith. So here's an opportunity for Rock to counter-attack. They can make it back-to-back goals. They can convert off this. Brodie Smith, though. Another really good interception. What a start to this game she's had. Contact this time against Jade Maguire. So a very physical minute of netball here from both teams. Simonson, Taylor. Cutting did well. Got front spot. Could have a look at the goals. The side's against it. Taylor to Fox. So Mackenzie Fox steps up to the plate and makes no mistake. Puts it back out to a 4-goal difference. 10 goals to 6 the way of Emerald. Mybus. Out wide to Henry. Henry, long drive, and she's turned it straight over into the hands of Brodie Smith. Maguire lose their footing at... Play continues. Taylor. Long one. Tomlinson should be able to track this back, and she does. Fakes the pass, and incredibly, that's worked. Cunning fakes to Mackenzie Fox. Interesting passage of play here. Mackenzie Fox doesn't convert with the first opportunity, does with the second. 5 goals of difference. So Emerald continue to push out this lead. 11 goals to 6 now. Tomlinson fakes and then decides to retreat to Smith. Long drive is a good one to Fox. Comes inboard, finds Taylor. Taylor goes out wide to Tomlinson. Beautifully done though by Leah Mybus. Now it comes into the hands of Maguire. She looks around, finds James. James short to Henry. Henry looks up ahead. Inboard once again into the hands of Maguire. Good long drive to Stacey. Stacey goes back to Pastrana. And that feed with no real direction fires it out of play, and Casey Rhodes Anderson on the last line of defence here for Emerald. So Simonson will go back to Rhodes Anderson. Rhodes Anderson into the hands of Smith. Rhodes Anderson, Smith again too. Into the middle of the court. Good one it was to Simonson. Simonson, good one to Taylor. Long drive, beautifully done by Ella James. So they force another turnover here, have Rock. Henry, Pastrana goes out wide, finds Davey. She'll come back to Pastrana. Pastrana short to Mybus. Stacey did well. Found some room out the back, and she can get one back here for Rock. But misses. And into the hands of Brodie Smith once again. But her 4th or 5th interception for this quarter. Beautifully done to Taylor. Taylor could have gone to Fox, but she goes the other direction to Tomlinson. Tomlinson short. Good one. No, Cutting didn't want to have a look at goal. And eventually falls into the hands of Mackenzie Fox, and she converts. 6 goals the difference. 12 goals to 6. So a bit of back and forth between both teams, but eventually Emerald convert and extend the margin. Davey comes inboard, finds Maguire. She'll go short to Pastrenia. Anyone's ball to be won here. Rhodes Anderson straight onto it. Taylor comes inboard, finds Tomlinson. She's got Fox short, but goes out wide to Simonson. Simonson will go back to Tomlinson. Contact given away by Mybus. Looks like Izzy O'Shannessy about to come on for Rock, so this will be probably the first interchange of the game. Tomlinson all the way across to Taylor. Looks at cutting. And it took too long. There we go. So well done by the Rock defence. Created some uncertainty in the mind of Matty Taylor. Nella James on the last line of defence will just go short to Henry. Henry, long drive up the court. Smith gets a handy, but Mybus should gather this one. Now eventually it falls into the hands of Pastrenia. Back to Mitzi Henry. Henry, Maguire, Mybus. Goes out wide. Pastrenia again. Anyone's ball to be won here. Should fall into the hands of Henry, and it does. She'll go back to Mybus. Long drive and too long in the end. Looking for Stacey, but flies over her head, and Rhodes Anderson once again can get Emerald, moving out of defence. So Smith with plenty of room to work with will go back to Rhodes Anderson. Now to Tomlinson, out wide, straight into the hands of Simonson. Fox, laterally. Maguire gets a hand in, but can't finish the job. It will stay with Emerald. So again, Mackenzie Fox. And here is Jackie Cutting. Can make this a 7-goal lead for Emerald. And she does, 13 goals to 6 as we start to near quarter time on the Rochford Wines match of the round. So Tomlinson again out wide. Fox wastes no time. Beautifully done though by Jade Maguire. So quick on that. Goes to Ella James. A call for stepping. Can you believe that? So such a good piece of work undone by a pretty clinical mistake, it has to be said. And now Jackie Cutting will get another look at goal. This to make it 8 goals the difference for Emerald. And Jackie Cutting does not convert. Maybe Mac Fox, though, from the other side. She does convert. Makes it 8 goals the difference. 14 goals to 6 the way of Emerald. So Leah Mybus, once again with centre pass duties. Pastrenia. Good long one it was. So Izzy O'Shannessy involved for the first time in the Rochford Wines match of the round. Davey back to Pastrenia. And here is O'Shannessy. And Izzy O'Shannessy, just like that, gets her first goal of the game. 7 goals to 14. Tomlinson. Taylor. Waits and, yep. Just sort of let the forward momentum take it there, Matty Taylor. Unfortunately, she is called for stepping, so an opportunity for Rock to maybe make it back-to-back goals. Pastrenia, maybe too much on it for Mybus, but O'Shannessy recovered it nicely. Pastrenia back to O'Shannessy, who eventually finds a spot she likes and then just feeds to Davey. And then she feeds back to O'Shannessy. So this for back-to-back goals for Rock to get it back to 6 goals the margin. And Izzy O'Shannessy, the captain, makes no mistake. 14 goals to 8. And Leah Mybus has the centre pass. So Rock maybe just finding a bit of momentum before quarter time. Davey, oh no. Again, just another long feed here for Rock and doesn't work out. So Emerald again can counter-attack. Smith got it from Rhodes Anderson and then goes back to Rhodes Anderson. Smith again too involved. Much longer this time. Krista Tomlinson did well to gather that ball cleanly. Simonson, she'll go back to Tomlinson. Tomlinson out wide to Fox. Looks at cutting, but she's turned it straight over. Well done, Leah Mybus. Comes inboard to Maguire. Looks up ahead, eventually offloads to Henry. Henry goes short to Pastrenia. Then back to Maguire. Maguire puts him inside the attacking third of Pastrenia. Davey, Pastrenia again for about a third or fourth time in this passage. Rhodes Anderson did it well enough, didn't give away contact. So now Mackenzie Fox and the Bombers are on the counter-attack here. Taylor looks around, comes back to Tomlinson. Tomlinson will go short to Fox, who can have a look at goal. So this to push it back out to 7 goals the difference. Mac Fox makes no mistake, 15 goals to 8. Beautifully done here from Emerald as we start to near quarter time. Tomlinson. No, they've turned it over here, Emerald. So Rock can counter-attack. Henry looks up ahead, does it well. Mybus, back to Maguire. Now Henry, long drive, beautifully done as well to Davey. Mybus, O'Shannessy doubles back. Not going to work out though, Pastrenia. Mybus, Davey's the short option, that's where she'll go. Courtney Davey lines them up and Courtney Davey makes no mistake. So back to 6 goals the difference. So good to see here from Rock, just a little bit of fight towards the back end of this first quarter. And maybe they can get another one here and cut the margin down even more. So O'Shannessy does it well, comes back to Mybus. O'Shannessy calls for a back. It'll go further to Davey, though. Could have a look at goal. No, feeds it back to O'Shannessy. So Izzy O'Shaughnessy, this to get it back to 5 goals of difference after it was 8 goals of difference only minutes ago. O'Shaughnessy with a second look, and this time she converts back to 5 goals of difference. So Rock just with a bit of momentum before quarter time. 10 goals to 15 it is now after it was 14 goals to 6. And that is quarter time and the Rochford Wines match of the round. It is 5 goals of difference. Emerald in front, 15 goals to 10. We'll head off to a break for quarter time. Welcome back to Rob Porter Recreation Reserve for the second quarter of the Rochford Wines match of the round. And we are underway in the second quarter. So Izzy O'Shaughnessy will start on this time for Rock, and unfortunately for the Kangaroos, they have turned it over. So Rhodes Anderson once again out wide to Simonson. So Emerald haven't really made any changes. Only have the one interchange, Aaron Anson, who haven't brought onto the court just yet. Here is Mackenzie Fox, comes back to Tomlinson. Beautiful feed to Mackenzie Fox. And she can push this back out to a 6 goal difference. Early days for Emerald, and she does just that. 10 goals to 16, and Krista Tomlinson has the centre pass. So out it goes. Cutting. Taylor runs onto it beautifully. Could have gone to Fox, but goes all the way across to Tomlinson. Looks at Cutting, and that's where she goes. And Jackie Cutting can make this back-to-back goals, and more importantly, push the margin back out to 7 goals, the difference for Emerald. So good start for the Bombers in this second quarter. So O'Kelly goes out wide to Pastrenia. Henry looks at O'Kelly, and that's eventually where she goes. Short. So Davey can line them up, and Courtney Davey gets one back for Rock. 17 goals to 11. Taylor. Sorry, not Fox. In fact, that was Cutting. Here's Mackenzie Fox now. No, Emerald have turned it over, so this is a good chance for Rock once again to counter-attack. Ella James short to Henry. Henry does it nicely. So well and truly on the counter-attack now. Katie Bell onto the court as well here for Rock. So Izzy O'Shaughnessy to get it back to 5 goals. The difference. Makes no mistake on the second chance. 12 goals to 17. Rock with back-to-back goals. Lily O'Kelly with a centre pass. Can they get it back to 4 goals the difference? She goes out wide. Davey got up at the right time. She'll go back to O'Kelly. Looks around. Eventually goes back to Bell. O'Kelly once again retreats to Bell. Then she goes out wide to Henry. Trying to open up some angles here. Here we go. Davey. Once again, though, goes back. They just can't really find an avenue forward at the moment, can Rock. Henry, short to O'Kelly. All the way out wide to Davey, and she finds O'Shaughnessy, and she got some contact from Smith. So good patience from Rock. They worked it around, and eventually Izzy O'Shaughnessy gets a look, and she makes no mistake. 3 goals in a row now for the Kangaroos, and they get it back to 4 goals of difference and find themselves right in this game. Taylor onto Tomlinson. Did it well, didn't fall into that goal circle. Taylor got it from Smith. She'll go back to Smith. Looks to put him inside the attacking third. Pulls the pass at the last moment to Tomlinson. Here is Taylor. She'll go short to Fox. Fox over the top and does it well. Finds Cutting. And this just for a steady here for Emerald. They've conceded the last 3, but Jackie Cutting just rights the ship. So Lily O'Kelly with the centre pass. Davey's got plenty of room to work with, but she'll go short to Henry. O'Kelly back to Pastrenia. O'Kelly this time to O'Shaughnessy. Back to O'Kelly. Now Davey. Good feed, O'Shaughnessy. So once again, the Rock captain with an opportunity to cut the margin back down to 4 goals. Doesn't convert, and Brady Smith does well. Had a really good game so far for Emerald. Now they're inside the attacking third. Cutting goes back to Taylor. Now Tomlinson looks to feed and does it well. Here is Cutting. Can again extend upon this margin and does exactly that. So 13 goals to 19. 6 goals the difference it is at the moment. Fox waits and waits. Oh, Davey just can't quite. And she is called for offside. Courtney Davey. Fox comes back to Tomlinson. Fakes. And then eventually finds Mackenzie Fox. Tomlinson Cutting. Got it. And she can push this margin right back out to 7 goals. And that's exactly what she does. 20 goals to 13. O'Kelly. Pastrenia. Comes back. Nicely done to Henry. Smith couldn't gather it cleanly. Smith in ball to Rhodes Anderson, short to Tomlinson. Tomlinson looks up ahead, long drive. Puts him inside the attacking third. Taylor and now Fox. Mackenzie Fox this to make it 8 goals the difference, and she's got it 21 goals to 13. Smith. Taylor. Cutting. And Jackie Cutting lines up for another goal. Makes this 9 goals the difference now, 22 goals to 13. So biggest lead of the game now for Emerald as they really start to run away with it. Tomlinson got a hand in but falls straight back into the hands of O'Kelly. Nearly gathered by Rhodes Anderson, but it will stay with Rock, who once again find themselves needing to find a couple of goals back to back. 9 goals adrift they are at the moment. O'Kelly just received a bit of contact, so they can continue to press the Kangaroos. Eventually, O'Kelly feeds it to Davey, and Courtney Davey lines them up and puts it through. There we go. So they get one back to Rock. 22 goals to 14. Taylor looks at Cutting, but then decides to go the other way to Tomlinson. Tomlinson has Fox short. That's where she goes. Good feed. And Mac Fox, just like that, instant response for Emerald. Back to 9 goals the difference. 23 goals to 14. O'Kelly. Long drive is a good one. Pastrenia. Very well done. And Courtney Davey, very quick onto that one. Gets the goal. It was well identified too by Jess Pastrenia. All the way across here is Tomlinson. Fox. Taylor nearly cut off by Katie Bell, but couldn't take it cleanly and stepped offside anyway. Fox, Tomlinson, well done by Cutting. Gathered it cleanly in the one hand, and then more importantly converts the goal, and again pushes it back out to a 9 goal difference, 15 goals to 24. So Rock unable to really make a dent in this lead just yet. And Brady Smith has pulled up a bit sore from this contest. Might be an interesting one. No, she seems to be okay. Davey wants to go back to O'Shaughnessy. Eventually does come into the hands of Izzy O'Shaughnessy, who lines up the goals and converts, gets it back to 8 goals the difference. 16 goals to 24. Tomlinson waits and waits, and she's turned it over, so here's a chance for Rock to counter-attack. Pastrenia back to O'Kelly, short to Henry. Henry, long drive. O'Shaughnessy got contact from Rhodes Anderson. O'Shaughnessy wants Davey. And here's a chance for Rock. Make it back-to-back goals. Get it back to 7 goals the difference. So Izzy O'Shaughnessy, the captain, lines up, and eventually it drops for her. Back-to-back goals for Rock. Back to 7 goals the difference. O'Kelly's got the centre pass. Can they find a spark off of this, the Kangaroos? Pastrenia. Good long drive to O'Shaughnessy. Clever feed over the top to Davey. Wants to go back to O'Shaughnessy, and that's exactly what she does. So this for 3 in a row for Rock. This to get it back to 6 goals, the difference. Anyone's ball to be won here. Rhodes Anderson knocks it out of play, and it will stay with Rock. Pastrenia goes back to O'Kelly. Could go short to Pastrenia. Eventually that's what she does. Finds Davey. O'Shaughnessy did well. And this to get it back to 6 goals, the difference. No, unfortunately, straight over the top and into the hands of Brody Smith. So Emerald on the counter-attack now. Rhodes Anderson, Tomlinson. Back to Rhodes Anderson. Tomlinson this time to Smith. Smith, long drive up the court. Good one it was too to Cutting, who's moved into goal attack. Mac Fox in goal shooter. Tomlinson over the top of Taylor, the intended target, but fell into the hands of Fox. She'll go back to Taylor. Fox recovered it nicely. Tomlinson waits and waits. Anyone's ball to be won here. Henry did well, eventually off the hands of Ella James, and now Rocker on the counter-attack. Katie Bell did nicely to Pastrenia. Goes out wide to Davey. Davey will go back to O'Kelly. Looks around. Goes underground with it. Good one to Davey. Looking for O'Shaughnessy, but goes back to Pastrenia. O'Shaughnessy. Big opportunity now, and beautifully done. Very, very nicely done there, and back to 6 goals the difference. Courtney Davey with another one. Taylor, Cutting, Tomlinson, And Fox, plenty of room out the back. Gets the responding goal for Emerald, 25 goals to 18. O'Kelly could go laterally to Henry, but Fampistrenia with a bit more room to work with. Henry back to O'Kelly. O'Kelly, high up and under ball, works in the end to Davey. Looks up ahead to O'Shannessy, and she's got it. Did well between Smith and Rhodes Anderson. Then goes back to Courtney Davey. No goal, unfortunately, for Rock. And now an opportunity for Emerald to counter-attack and extend the margin back out to 8 goals. Davey did well to get a hand in, but it falls straight to the hands of Brodie Smith. Here is Tomlinson. Long drive. Good one, too, to Taylor. Taylor fakes, eventually goes to Cutting. Looking for Mac Fox, and she's got it. And Mac Fox, back-to-back goals now for Emerald. Back out to 8 goals the difference. 18 goals to 26. Just as Rock were making some inroads, Emerald pushed the margin right back out. And that's not going to do him any favours. Taylor got it from Tomlinson. Now comes back to Tomlinson. Looks up ahead to Fox, but goes the other way to Cutting. And Jackie Cutting makes no mistake. 9 goals the difference now for Emerald. 27 goals to 18. As we start to get closer to half-time and the Rochford Wines match of the round. Bell. Henry. Finds Pastrenia. Looked at Davey. Decided against that. Looks for O'Kelly. Simonson nearly cuts it off. Just couldn't quite get the reach. O'Shannessy. Good feed, is it? Nearly well done by Rhodes Anderson, but gave away contact. So Davey feeds to O'Shannessy. O'Shannessy gets one back for Rock, back to 8 goals the difference. 27 goals to 19. Tomlinson over the top, does it nicely. Cutting. Jackie Cutting this to push it back out to 9 goals difference. Cutting steps up, and this time she does convert. So 28 goals to 19. Back it comes, Henry. Long drive is a good one as well. O'Shannessy gathered it cleanly all the way across to Davey. O'Kelly. Davey again involved. O'Shannessy Smith thumps it away. Davey. Back to O'Kelly, and now O'Shannessy. So Izzy O'Shannessy lines up, and she converts. Beautifully done. 8 goals the difference now. Tomlinson goes out wide. Nicely done. And here is Jackie Cutting. Doesn't convert, but she will get a second look to again get it out to 9 goals the difference. And she does convert this time. Jackie Cutting, 29 goals to 20. O'Kelly once again with a centre pass. Finds Katie Bell. Long drive. Tomlinson, though. How about that? But she's turned it straight over. Such a clever piece of work. Completely undone, and Courtney Davey makes her pay. Gets one back for Rock, 29 goals to 21. Just try to get a bit too cute with the pass there, I think, Krista Tomlinson, but I guess when you're 9 goals ahead, it probably doesn't matter too much. Tomlinson. Fox. No, well done. Beautifully done, Mitzi Henry. So the Kangaroos on the counter-attack. James. Henry looks up ahead, does it nicely to Pastrenia. Over the top to Davey. Long drive. Whose hand was it off? It's going to stay with Emerald. O'Shannessy can't believe it. But they might have got away with one of the Bombers. Simonson. Rhodes Anderson. Does it well to Taylor. Taylor goes out wide. Here is Fox. Short to Tomlinson. Eventually gets it under her control. Out wide to Taylor. Also fumbled but recovered. Fox. Back to 9 goals the difference for Emerald. 30 goals to 21. So O'Kelly goes out wide. Did it nicely too. Comes inboard. O'Kelly. Henry. Smith does it nicely. Back it comes. Nicely done to Rhodes Anderson. Rhodes Anderson back to Smith. And now Tomlinson. Tomlinson long drive. Beautifully done to Fox. Fox goes back to Taylor. Taylor fires in a bullet. Cutting eventually gets it under her control. This to make it 10 goals the difference. And there it is, new biggest lead of the game for Emerald. 31 goals to 21, the way of the Bombers. So Tomlinson again with centre pass duties. Taylor. Finds Fox. Fox will go out wide, but she's turned it over. O'Kelly did well, didn't step offside either, so now Rock on the counter-attack. Bell finds O'Kelly. O'Kelly looks up ahead to Pastrenia, but goes back to Henry. Back to Bell. Now here is Pastrenia. Pastrenia goes inboard to Henry. Henry fires off a bullet, but beautifully done by Krista Tomlinson. Emerald on the counter-attack. Fox has got no one to go to, though. Retreats to Taylor. Back to Mackenzie Fox. Tomlinson waits and eventually finds Mac Fox. Beautifully done by Emerald. This to make it 11 goals of difference, and Mac Fox makes no mistake, 32 goals to 21, and that is half-time in the Rochford Wines match of the round. The Bombers extend upon their quarter-time margin. This time it's 11 goals, 32 to 21 is the score. We'll head off to our half-time break, and when we come back, we'll bring you all the action from the second half. Round 15 between Rock and Emerald. If you're just tuning in, the score's currently 32 to 21 the way of Emerald. So Liam Ibis with the centre pass. And we are underway in the third quarter. So Mibus to Pastrenia, then onto O'Kelly, who's moved into goals for this second half, in fact, I should say. Henry goes out wide. O'Kelly to Pastrenia. Tomlinson. Taylor, long drive to Cutting. Fox steps up and converts, 22 goals to 32. Tomlinson. Mibus. Couple of 1-2s. Henry and O'Kelly, and now Pastrenia finds O'Shaughnessy. And Izzy O'Shaughnessy steps up and converts. And gets one back for Rock, 22 goals to 33. Mibus. O'Kelly. Mibus. Smith does well, cuts it off, and now Emerald are on the counter-attack. Henry nearly cuts it off, unable to do so. Cutting waits and goes back to Smith. Tomlinson, inboard to Taylor. Here is Fox. Tomlinson. And here is Jackie Cutting. Can make this a 12-goal break for Emerald, and she does. 34 goals to 22 now. So pretty ominous start for the Bombers early days in this third quarter. They want third spot back on the ladder. Fox does well to Cutting. Jackie Cutting steps up and will not convert. Jackie Cutting this time does convert. 22 goals to 35 now. Mibus out wide. Pastrenia. Doubles back. Henry, long drive. Good one it is too. Mibus goes inboard to O'Kelly. Goes out wide. Pastrenia. O'Kelly. Oh. So Tomlinson over the top, does it nicely to Taylor. Taylor waits and waits, goes out wide. Here is Tomlinson. Fox. Fox. And Mackenzie Fox converts. Mibus, O'Shaughnessy. Taylor waits. Comes back to Fox. Taylor, Fox. This to make it 14 goals, the difference for Emerald. Mibus. O'Shaughnessy. Mibus. Short. Good one it was to Pastrenia. Mibus keeps it in play. Simonson does knock it out of play, so we'll stay with Rock either way. Mibus. O'Kelly got a bit of contact from Rhodes Anderson. And doesn't convert. Smith back to Rhodes Anderson, finds Tomlinson. Tomlinson goes inboard to Taylor. It'll come back to Tomlinson, eventually gathers it. Back to Taylor, short to Cutting, over the top to Fox. And she pushed it out to a 12-goal difference, 37 goals to 25. So once again, Krista Tomlinson. Cutting. Taylor, back to Tomlinson. Fox has got front position. And this to push it back out to 13 goals the difference, doesn't convert. So Jackie Cutting steps up to the plate and gets one back for Emerald. 13 goals the difference again, 38 goals to 25. So falls into the hands of O'Kelly. Henry. Good one it is. Comes laterally to Cutting. Cutting looks around. Goes out wide. Does it nicely. Anyone's ball to be won here. Here is Mackenzie Fox. Fox. Got it. There we go. 14 goals the difference now. 39 goals to 25. The way of Emerald. We're really starting to get a bit of a stranglehold on this game. Simonson. Back it comes. Long drive. Fox. James does well, and now Rock find themselves on the counter-attack. Maguire holds strong. Finds O'Kelly. She goes to Mibus. Mibus goes across the other way and finds Pastrenia. So Erin Anson comes onto the court for the first time for Emerald. Replacing Maddie Taylor will go off for a rest. So O'Shannessy in the meantime lines up for goal and converts. Gets it back to 13 goals the difference. 39 goals to 26. So Leah Mibus. Pastrenia, Henry, Mibus, and O'Shannessy. Steps up and converts. Back to 14 goals the difference. Oh, sorry, back to 12 goals the difference. In fact, back-to-back goals for Rock. 39 goals to 27. Tomlinson goes out wide, does it nicely to Simonson. Good long drive to Anson, involved for the first time in this game. Fox all the way back to Tomlinson. Little look away pass works out to Anson. Here is Mac Fox once again. Puts it straight back out to 13 goals the difference. 40 goals to 27. Mibus. Mibus over the top, and here is O'Shannessy. And she converts. So they get it back to 12 goals the difference to Rock, but still haven't really been able to chip into this margin just yet. Tomlinson, Fox gathers it nicely. Comes in, board and will go back to Tomlinson. Fakes, little underground one. Back to Cutting. Cutting. No, here we go. They've turned it over, Emerald. So can the Kangaroos counter-attack? And they get a goal off of this. James. James will go short to Henry. Has Maguire, but goes back to James. So Emerald have boxed him in pretty well. No real avenue yet for Rock, but that's worked out beautifully to Pastrenia. She goes on to O'Kelly. Can she get it to O'Shannessy? She'll go back to Pastrenia for the moment. O'Kelly again is involved. Now Mibus. Frantic stuff here for the Kangaroos. Maybe a chance for O'Kelly now. No, now she goes out to Pastrenia. And here is O'Shannessy. So this to get it back to 11 goals. And O'Shannessy converts. And Liam Mibus will have the centre pass. So maybe Rock starting to make these inroads that they need to make. Because they are starting to run out of time. Still the third quarter, but they are still 11 goals adrift. But here is O'Shannessy again. Back to 10 goals the difference now. 30 goals to 40. So on a bit of a roll now with the Kangaroos. Cutting. Can they force a turnover here? Yes, they can. Ella James has got it, and they're on the counter-attack again. O'Kelly looks around. Comes back to Henry. Henry waits and then goes out wide. Got a hand in did Anson, but still falls to Maguire. Back to Henry. Henry goes out wide and finds O'Kelly. O'Kelly will go short to Mibus. Mibus, O'Shannessy. And Rock are rolling now. They've got back to 9 goals of difference, 40 goals to 31. Henry. Oh, sorry, Mybus, in fact. Pastrenia now, Henry. Henry fires it in, back to Mybus. Here is O'Shaughnessy. Mybus again too. Does it work out? It does. O'Kelly did well to control it. Pastrenia. O'Shaughnessy calls for it. O'Kelly goes out wide to Mybus. Thumped away by Smith. Oh, we'll stay with Emerald. Oh, sorry, Rock, in fact. Pastrenia, O'Shaughnessy. This to get her back to 8 goals the difference, and she's got it. So Rock continue to chip away at this margin. Again, can they force another turnover? Maybe an opportunity for Mai, but she can't keep it in play, though. Worked incredibly hard, but Rock suddenly with all the energy and all the momentum in this game. And here is another opportunity for them. Contact given away by Emerald. So Anson, the culprit. Maguire got it from James. James calls for it back. Maybe Erin Anson, she can make amends for the mistake from before. And Maguire gives away contact, and pretty heavy contact at that. So Emerald will counter-attack. Mackenzie Fox, can they find a settler? Jackie Cutting steps up and gets a settler for Emerald. And whilst they're 9 goals ahead, you did feel like they needed that one because Rock was starting to come. Still plenty of time, though. So Maguire puts him into the attacking third to Mybus. O'Shaughnessy. And got it. There we go. Back to 8 goals of difference again. 41 goals to 33. So we start to near three-quarter time, but Rock certainly haven't given it away yet. Tomlinson, Anson, Fox. Tomlinson waits and finds Fox. Good composure from Krista Tomlinson in amongst all the chaos. And Mac Fox gets one back again for Emerald. 42 goals to 33. Mybus finds O'Shaughnessy. Looks at O'Kelly. And knocked out a play by Simonson, so it'll stay with Rock. Mybus. Oh. Has to be said, this game has gotten very physical in the last 5 or so minutes. O'Shaughnessy in the meantime converts. Again, cuts it back down to 8 goals the difference. Simonson will go back to Tomlinson. Looks at Fox, gets it to her just in time. Tomlinson eventually keeps it in play. And a clever feed to Mac Fox. Henry right on her heels, though, trying to snatch it. But it won't matter because Mac Fox will get one back for Emerald. And again, back to 9 goals the difference. 34 goals to 43. O'Kelly waits. Smith, Taylor. And Mac Fox gets it back out to 10 goals of difference, and Emerald just slowly regaining this momentum. Anson. Mac Fox, Cutting, got it. Good strong hand, she got contact anyway. This to push it back out to 11 goals of difference, and Jackie Cutting makes no mistake, 34 goals to 45. O'Kelly, couple of 1-2s. Pastrenia, O'Kelly again. It's affected by Smith and gathered by Rhodes Anderson. She finds Anderson. Anson, sorry, in fact. Oh. Smith, out wide. Tomlinson. Back to Simonson, looks at Anson, gets it to her. Fox calls for it, she's honoured. And again, good feed to Mac Fox by Anson. And Mac Fox converts and makes it a 12-goal difference. And Emerald pushing it right back out to what it was at half-time after all the hard work done by Rock. Mybus can't cut it off. Straight to the hands of Tomlinson. She goes to Fox. Looks at cutting. Cleverly done, Krista Tomlinson. And Jackie Cutting gets another goal. Back out to 13 goals the difference. 47 goals to 34. Pastrenia. Maguire. Henry. Pastrenia. Henry. Goes short. Mybus. Long one. Good one it was too. And that is three-quarter time and the Rochford Wines match of the round. The last quarter of the Rochford Wines match of the round. Round 15 between Emerald and Rock. And we are underway in the last quarter. So Aaron Anson has moved into the centre. Krista Thompson into wing attack, and Emerald get the first goal of the last quarter, out to 14 goals the difference now, 34 goals to 48. And Rock get one back, 35 goals to 48. And Jackie Cutting again pushes it out to a 14-goal difference, 49 goals to 35. Pastrenia, back to Mybus. O'Shaughnessy, Pastrenia, O'Shaughnessy gets there. O'Shaughnessy crosses it back to O'Kelly. And Izzy O'Shaughnessy gets one back for Rock, 36 goals to 49. Tomlinson. And here is Jackie Cutting. And just like that, gets it back out to 14 goals the difference, 50 goals to 36. Working it around O'Kelly to O'Shaughnessy. And Izzy O'Shaughnessy got it. There we go. 37 goals to 50. Ooh. Fox, O'Kelly thumps it out of play. $37 goals to 51. O'Kelly. And into the hands of O'Shaughnessy. And she gets one back for Rock. 38 goals to 51. Anson, Fox, Tomlinson. To Jackie Cutting, who can push it straight back out to a 14-goal difference for Emerald. Henry. Good work, Ray. Just couldn't finish off the job. So it'll stay with Emerald. Krista Tomlinson. Over the top to Fox. Fox all the way out wide. Does it nicely. And triggers out of play. So here's an opportunity for Rock to counter-attack. Henry. Mybus. Long drive. And it can't be kept in play, unfortunately, for Gemma Stacey. So Emerald on the counter-attack. Simonson to Anson. Straight on to Tomlinson. Looks at Fox. Gets it to her. And Mac Fox lines up and converts. There we go. 14 goals the difference. 38 goals to 52. O'Kelly. It's going to come back the other way for Emerald. Shaughnessy does it nicely. Goes out wide to Pastrenia. Izzy O'Shaughnessy steps up and no, won't convert. And Jackie Cutting's got it. Tomlinson, Cutting. And Jackie Cutting's got it. 16 goals the difference now for Emerald, 38 goals to 54. And there's one back for Rock, 39 goals to 54. So Anson with the centre pass. Kept in play by Fox? No. Or was it? No. Contact maybe. Rhodes Anderson, a little bit unsure where to go. Nearly cut off by Stacey, but unable to do so. Cleverly done, Anson. Tomlinson, Cutting. Finishes the job. 16 goals the difference, 39 goals to 55. Pastrenia put too much on it. Tomlinson goes over the top, waits and waits. Back to Cutting. Henry. Pastrenia. Back to Mybus. Mybus, Pastrenia over the top. Good one it is. And does that well. And this will fall into the hands of O'Shaughnessy, who... Smith. Tomlinson, Fox, Tomlinson, Fox. Now Fox doesn't convert. Ella James does well, and it just falls into the hands of Katie Bell. James, long drive, good 1-2 to Pastrenia. Pastrenia no. Goes further to Henry. All the way out to Davey. Davey inboard to Pastrenia. Back to Davey and Pastrenia again. And O'Shannessy got it. 40 goals to 55. Tomlinson, Taylor, and on to Cutting. And Jackie Cutting lines up and converts. Back to 16 goals the difference for Emerald, 56 goals to 40. Henry, Mybus, O'Shannessy. And got it. Mybus, long drive up the court. Good one to Pastrenia. Pastrenia comes back inboard. Henry to Davey. Bell looking for O'Shannessy. And they can maybe make a couple of late inroads here, Rock, before the game's over. So Izzy O'Shannessy steps up and converts. Back to 14 goals the difference, 56 goals to 42. Waits and waits. Here we go. 13 goals the difference now, 43 to 56. Simonson, inboard, Rhodes Anderson, Tomlinson, Fox. Mac Fox got it. So 14 goals the difference once again, 43 to 57. Comes inboard to Mybus. Mybus, long drive. Smith as she cut it off. So Rhodes Anderson with ball in hand as we start to near the end of this game. Rhodes Anderson goes out wide. Taylor is moved into centre now. Tomlinson eventually gathers it. Smith, Tomlinson moves ahead to Fox. Fox comes back to Rhodes Anderson. Just goes short again to Tomlinson. Fox, Taylor goes out wide. Cutting, got it. Taylor, Cutting. James. Fox goes back to Taylor as intercepted by Bell, but it's going to stay with Emerald. Tomlinson back to Fox to push it back out to 16 goals the difference, and Mac Fox makes no mistake. 43 goals to 59. Bell. Pastrenia, long drive, can't cut it off. Davey finds O'Shannessy. And his O'Shannessy makes no mistake, 44 goals to 59. So again, Matty Taylor with a centre pass. Fox, Tomlinson, goes out wide again to Taylor. Cutting. And Jackie Cutting can push this right back out to 16 goals, and she does just that, 60 goals to 44. Bell. Pastrenia. Back it comes. Short one is a good one. Here is O'Shannessy again to get it back to 15 goals. The difference can't do so, and Smith does well. Simonson. Rhodes Anderson will run onto it. Will come back to Taylor. Rhodes Anderson again. Tomlinson to Fox. Off to Cutting. And this to push it out to 17 goals the difference. And Jackie Cutting, in fact, does just that. 61 goals to 44. And a pretty clinical performance here today by Emerald. They'll gain some percentage. And depending on the game that Monbulk are playing in today, maybe can reclaim third spot. And that will do us in the Rochford Wines match of the round.